Chosen one. You're not the same anymore. You feel it in your bones, don't you? The way you think, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself now, it all feels different. You're not reacting like the old you. You're not explaining yourself like the old you. You're not begging, proving, or chasing like the old you. That's not a breakdown. That's a breakthrough. You are evolving into your most powerful form, not just emotionally, but spiritually and energetically. Today, I'm going to show you the undeniable signs that you are stepping into the most powerful version of yourself. Let's go. 1. You respond with silence, not reaction. Chosen one. There was a time when you used to explain yourself to everyone. You argued to be heard. You fought to be understood. You defended your truth like it was up for negotiation. But not anymore. Now, your silence has become your sword, your calm, your crown. Why? Because you finally realized peace is more precious than proving. You're no longer interested in reacting to every jab, every insult, or every attempt to pull you into drama. You see through the bait, the trap that seeks to lower your frequency, and you walk right past it. This is not weakness. This is energetic intelligence. This is emotional mastery. Silence is your frequency armor. When you stop reacting, you reclaim your power, because reaction means they still control your emotional state. But when you respond with stillness, with presence, with divine neutrality, you flip the script. Now they're the ones left confused, because they can't manipulate what they can't shake. They can't provoke what has transcended triggers. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring the truth. It means you've outgrown the need to scream it. Your energy speaks louder than words. Understand this. When you reach a certain level of awareness, you no longer feel the need to be loud, because your vibration does the talking. People can feel your boundaries without you yelling them. They can sense your strength without you flexing it. They know your worth without you needing to prove it. You've become the calm in the storm. And in a world full of noise, your peace is powerful and rare. Not every battle is yours to fight. The old version of you wanted to win arguments. The new version of you wants to win peace. You understand now. When you argue with fools, you lose, even if you're right. When you engage with chaos, you invite it into your energy field. And you've worked too hard to protect your peace, to purify your spirit, to align your soul, to throw it all away for the satisfaction of being right. You don't need to prove. You just need to be. That's when your silence becomes sacred, and your stillness becomes a spiritual force. You're not quiet because you're powerless. You're quiet because you're powerful. Chosen one. You've unlocked a frequency that only few ever reach. Unbothered presence, divine self-trust, sacred stillness. Let them talk. Let them twist your words. Let them misunderstand your silence. Because while they seek attention, you seek alignment. While they throw shade, you shine without trying. Because the most powerful version of you doesn't react, it rises, it glows, it walks away in peace. And that silence is deafening. 2. You no longer chase, you attract. Chosen one. There was a time when you overextended. You chased love, approval, opportunities, thinking if you tried harder, proved more, gave endlessly, they would finally choose you. But all that chasing did was send a signal to the universe. I don't believe I'm enough unless something outside of me validates it. And then something shifted, a sacred unraveling, a divine revelation. You unplugged from desperation. You took your power back, and instead of chasing, you began attracting. You realized alignment is greater than force. Chosen one. When you're aligned with your soul, You don't chase what's meant for you. You magnetize it. You don't force doors open. They swing wide when your frequency matches the room. You stopped running toward love that wasn't returning it. You stopped begging for attention that didn't see your worth. You stopped clinging to timelines that didn't honor your divine path. Now you understand. What's meant for you feels like flow, not friction. And when you stop chasing, the real begins arriving. Your energy speaks louder than your effort. Before, you thought you had to do more to prove your value. Now, you embody it. You've learned the secret. Magnetism isn't about movement. It's about resonance. Your energy now speaks louder than your words. Your peace is more powerful than your performance. You glow different when you stop forcing and start allowing. Now, you radiate self-worth, and only those who match it can access you. The fake falls away. The real aligns. The divine provides. You are no longer proving. You are being. You used to feel like you had to prove your worth in rooms that couldn't even see your light. But now, you just be. You don't chase the role. You are the embodiment. You don't beg to be chosen. You know you're already called. You don't force timing. You flow with divine orchestration. This is the shift from survival to sovereignty, from desperation to divinity, from proving to power. Chosen one. You are magnetic now, and not because you're trying, but because you finally stopped trying. When you stepped into your truth, when you released the need to chase, your soul became a beacon. Now what you attract reflects who you've become, and who you've become is powerful, grounded, unshakable, divine. Let them chase what you've already outgrown. Let your frequency do the work now. 3. You walk alone and feel stronger than ever. Chosen one. There was a time when silence felt like punishment, when being alone triggered wounds of abandonment, rejection, and isolation, when walking alone made you question your worth, as if your value depended on who walked beside you. But now, solitude has become sacred. Now, when it's quiet, you hear God more clearly. Now, in your stillness, your power expands. Now, in your solitude, you remember who you really are, because something inside you shifted. You stopped confusing being alone with being unloved. You stopped needing noise to feel alive. And most importantly, you stopped giving everyone access to your sacred space. You realized your energy is gold, your presence is rare, your spirit is royal, and not everyone deserves a front row seat to your evolution. In this new version of you, you don't beg to belong. You belong to yourself. You belong to Source. And that's enough. You no longer stay in rooms that drain you. You no longer tolerate company that dims your frequency, because peace is your new power, and solitude is your battery charger. You walk alone now, not because you're broken, but because you're building. You walk alone, not because you're weak, but because you're warrior strong. You walk alone, not to prove anything, but because you've learned. Divine alignment will always feel more fulfilling than forced companionship. Chosen one. Alone doesn't mean abandoned. It means anointed. It means activated. It means ascending. Because those who carry great light often walk paths that are not crowded, but they are always guided. So take your quiet path. Sit with your spirit. Let the solitude shape you, deepen you, elevate you. Because this isn't loneliness anymore. This is leadership, and you were born for it. 4. You set boundaries without guilt. Chosen one. This right here is one of the most powerful signs that you are stepping into your evolved divine self. You set boundaries without guilt. Let that sink in. You're no longer bending to be liked. You're no longer shrinking to be accepted. You're no longer saying yes when your soul screams no. Why? Because you finally remembered the truth. Your peace is sacred, and protecting it is not selfish, it's spiritual alignment. The old version of you would have explained yourself over and over, justified your decisions, tried not to upset anyone. You tiptoed around people's emotions, hoping to be understood. But not anymore. Now, you walk away with grace, not resentment. You say no with love and without apology. You stand your ground without the need to prove your worth. This shift didn't happen overnight. It happened after you realized that every time you said yes to them, you were saying no to yourself. And that trade, it was too expensive. The new you would rather lose people than lose yourself. That is not weakness. That is soul-level strength. You see, chosen one, boundaries are how your healed self communicates with the world. They're not walls built from pain. They're gates protected by wisdom. They say, this is what I allow. This is what I will no longer tolerate. This is how I love myself now. And you will either rise to meet it or fall away. This version of you, the one who guards their energy, honors their needs, and protects their peace without guilt, that version is powerful. That version is untouchable. That version is finally free. And if it costs you people who only loved you unboundaried, let them go. Because the ones meant for your next chapter will honor your no as much as your yes. 5. Your energy can't be faked. Chosen one. You've reached a frequency where you don't have to announce who you are. Your energy does it for you. People feel you before you speak. They notice a shift in the room when you enter. Not because you're trying to be noticed, but because you're walking in alignment. This is the point where authenticity becomes power. You're no longer performing. You're no longer shape-shifting to fit into rooms where your soul doesn't belong. You've stripped away the layers, the masks, the people-pleasing, the fear. And what's left is the realest version of you. And guess what? That version cannot be faked. That version makes people uncomfortable. Not because you're arrogant, but because your presence exposes their pretenses. You don't fit in fake circles anymore. You've outgrown surface conversations. You're not interested in gossip, clout, or hollow validation. You want depth, truth, alignment. So yes, you may feel misunderstood. Yes, you may find yourself walking alone. But in reality, you're just vibrating too high for the shallow to follow. Your presence is medicine. People come to you not knowing why they feel safe. They confide in you, heal through you, because your energy speaks louder than words. You carry light codes, truth in your silence, and power in your peace. You trigger healing in others just by being yourself. And sometimes, you also trigger their unhealed wounds, not by doing anything wrong, but simply by being real in a world built on illusion. Your vibe doesn't lie, and it reveals who can't handle the truth. That's why some people fall away as you rise. Your energy is a mirror, reflecting back what others refuse to face. It's not personal, it's energetic. You are shining so brightly now that anyone wearing a mask gets exposed just by standing next to you. And that, chosen one, is spiritual power. It's not loud, it's not forceful, it's not performative, it just is. Undeniable and unshakable. So no, you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to convince anyone of your value. Your energy speaks truth before your lips even open. And if they can't feel it, they're not meant to sit at your table. Chosen one, your energy is your signature. It's rare, it's radiant, and it cannot be faked. Walk in it, own it, protect it like sacred fire. 6. You trust your intuition more than opinions. Chosen one, There was a time when you'd silence your inner voice just to keep the peace. You'd second-guess your knowing. You'd bend your truth just to make others comfortable. You needed someone to say, "Yes, you're doing the right thing." You waited for signs, not from the divine, but from other people's approval. But that version of you is gone. You've outgrown the need to be understood by those who are not aligned with your soul. Now, you move differently. You don't look outside, you look within. You don't chase advice. You check in with your higher self. You don't follow the crowd. You follow divine direction. Your intuition is no longer just a feeling. It's your GPS in a chaotic world. It whispers in stillness. It nudges you when something's off. It guides you away from fake smiles and towards soul-aligned paths. You've learned to trust it, even when it doesn't make logical sense, even when no one else sees what you see. Because what they call crazy, the divine calls clairvoyance. What they call overreacting, your soul calls prophetic protection. What they call weird is simply your alignment with higher wisdom. You're no longer swayed by opinions. You don't post for validation. You don't share your vision to be believed, because you believe in it yourself. You no longer look for signs in the world. You are the sign. This is what it means to become a spirit-led leader. You're guided by something bigger than logic, deeper than emotion, and stronger than fear. You don't follow trends, you follow truth. And that truth? It doesn't come from a book, a guru, or a friend. It comes from within you, chosen one. When you trust your intuition, you are no longer walking blindly. You are walking with divine intelligence on your side, and that makes you unshakable. Let others second-guess themselves. Let others doubt. You are walking in alignment. You are tuned into source. You are led by spirit. And that is unstoppable. Chosen one. This new version of you, it's dangerous in the most divine way. Because now you can't be manipulated. You can't be guilted. You can't be drained. You can't be controlled. You are self-validated, divinely guided, energetically protected, and spiritually unstoppable. You've become what they fear and what the world needs. A fully awakened soul on a mission of truth, peace, and purpose. So own it, honor it, and walk boldly in it. Comment, "I am unbeatable and unstoppable," if you know you're stepping into your power. Subscribe if you're claiming this level of evolution in your journey. This isn't the new you, this is the real you, finally revealed.